Imagine an ocean unlike any you know, a world teeming with colossal life where the waves held secrets of immense power and scale. In these ancient waters, long before humans walked the earth, a true legend swam. This was the reign of the apex predator, a creature so massive and powerful it defies our modern imagination. We are talking about Otodus Megalodon, the largest shark that ever lived. Its name alone, meaning big tooth, sends a shiver down the spine. This wasn't just a big shark, it was a force of nature, a ghost from a prehistoric past that ruled the seas with absolute authority for millions of years. It was the undisputed king of the ocean. The story of the Megalodon is a journey back in time. It's a tale of discovery, of scientific detective work, and of a world that was both magnificent and terrifying. Let's dive in and explore the world of this magnificent giant. This is the story of the ocean's greatest mystery revealed. Today, the Megalodon continues to capture our imagination like few other creatures. To truly understand the Megalodon, we have to talk about its sheer size. This was not just a large shark, it was a creature of epic proportions. Imagine a school bus. Now imagine a shark that is longer than that school bus. Scientific estimates place the Megalodon at lengths of up to 60 feet or even more. That's 3 times longer than the largest great white sharks we see today. It was a colossal animal, built for power and dominance. Its weight would have been staggering, likely exceeding 50 tons. Let's talk about its bite, the most powerful bite of any animal that has ever lived. It could crush the skull of a whale as easily as we might bite into an apple. Its jaws were massive, over 9 feet wide, lined with 276 razor-sharp teeth, arranged in 5 rows. These teeth were like daggers, some reaching over 7 inches in length. When the Megalodon attacked, it was with a force that was simply unstoppable. It was the ultimate weapon, a perfect tool for hunting the largest animals in the ancient seas. A great white shark is an awesome and powerful predator, respected as the king of the ocean today. But a great white would look like a minnow next to a full-grown Megalodon. It was, without a doubt, the greatest predator the world has ever known. The Megalodon did not swim in the oceans we know today. It lived during a period called the Miocene Epoch, Pliocene Epoch, from about 23 million to 3.6 million years ago. During much of this time, the Earth was a warmer place. The oceans were balmy and teeming with life. Sea levels were higher, creating vast, shallow coastal seas, perfect hunting grounds for a giant predator. This was the Megalodon's kingdom, a global empire that stretched across the warm waters of the entire planet. Its fossils have been found on every continent except Antarctica, showing just how widespread this incredible shark truly was. It was a cosmopolitan ruler of the seas. These ancient oceans were a buffet for a super predator like Megalodon. The seas were filled with large marine mammals, Megalodon's primary prey. Imagine herds of primitive whales, like the Cetothere, smaller than the giant whales of today but still substantial meals. Giant sea turtles, large seals, other sharks. The Megalodon was an apex predator, at the very top of the food chain. It was a world built for a king. How do we know so much about a creature that has been extinct for millions of years? The answer lies in the fossils it left behind. The Megalodon's story is written in stone, specifically in its massive, fossilized teeth. A shark's skeleton is made of cartilage, which rarely fossilizes. But their teeth are made of a much harder material, coated in enamel, making them perfect for preservation. And sharks shed thousands upon thousands of teeth throughout their lifetime. The ocean floor became a vast repository of Megalodon teeth. Over millions of years, they turned into the fossils we find today. Each tooth is a clue, a piece of the puzzle. These incredible teeth have been found all over the world, from the coastal rivers of South Carolina to the deserts of Peru. For centuries, people found these triangular stone-like objects and had no idea what they were. In the Middle Ages, they were called glossopetrae, or tongue stones, and were believed to be the petrified tongues of dragons or giant snakes. It wasn't until the 17th century that Nicholas Steno correctly identified them as shark teeth. He dissected the head of a great white and drew diagrams that changed everything. Finding these teeth is like a treasure hunt through geologic time. When a tooth is found, it's a direct connection to this ancient world. Holding a Megalodon tooth in your hand is an incredible feeling. You're holding a piece of a creature that ruled the oceans. The fossils of the Megalodon are the raw data, clues left behind by this magnificent beast. It takes careful scientific work to turn clues into a complete picture. Paleontologists use comparative anatomy, studying the great white as a model. Compare a megalodon tooth to a great white tooth. Scientists extrapolate overall size, like one puzzle piece and a similar completed puzzle. This process evolved. Early size estimates were exaggerated. Modern methods are more sophisticated. Study relationship, tooth size, jaw width, total body length to build accurate models. Associated tooth sets from one individual rare vertebrae finds crucial to refining estimates. Measurement calculation debate bring us closer to true dimensions. Fossils also reveal lifestyle. Tooth shape, broad and triangular fine serrations designed for cutting flesh and bone. Not slender fish teeth, tools of a big game hunter. The quest to understand Megalodon shows science refining knowledge from the deep past. For 20 million years, the Megalodon was the undisputed king of the seas. So what happened? Why did this incredibly successful and dominant predator disappear? The answer, honestly, is not simple. There wasn't one single event that caused its extinction. Instead, it was a combination of factors, a slow and steady process driven by profound changes in the Earth's climate. The Megalodon's reign took place during a warm and stable period, but toward the end of the Pliocene epoch, the planet began to cool down dramatically. This was the beginning of the ice ages. As the Earth cooled, massive amounts of water became locked up in polar ice caps. This caused sea levels to drop significantly around the world. The warm, shallow coastal seas that the Megalodon depended on for its hunting grounds and nursery areas began to disappear. Coastlines retreated, and the rich ecosystems they supported were disrupted. The world that had been so perfect for the Megalodon was changing, and the shark was struggling to adapt. The balmy tropical waters it preferred were shrinking, replaced by colder currents that were less suitable for a warm-water giant. The Megalodon's global empire was beginning to crumble. The world was no longer built for a king. As the Megalodon's world was changing for the worse, new competitors were emerging that were better adapted to the new conditions. While the Megalodon was a warm-water specialist, a new generation of marine predators was evolving to thrive in the cooling oceans. Among the most significant of these new rivals were the ancestors of the modern great white shark. These sharks were smaller, faster, more versatile. They didn't need to hunt giant whales. They could survive on a more varied diet of smaller prey, like seals, sea lions, which were flourishing in the changing environment. The competition wasn't just from other sharks. A new type of killer whale, the ancestors of the modern orca, also appeared on the scene during this time. These were intelligent social hunters that worked in cooperative pods. While a single orca would have been no match for an adult megalodon, a pack of them would have been a formidable force. They were smart, adaptable, and could outmaneuver the larger solitary shark. They could have competed with the megalodon for the same food sources. They may have even preyed upon juvenile megalodons, putting even more pressure on the already struggling giant. The competition for food became fierce. The megalodon, with its massive body, had an enormous metabolism and needed to consume vast quantities of food every day just to stay alive. The world had moved on, and the great giant was being left behind. The final chapter in the Megalodon's story is one of decline and disappearance. By about 3.6 million years ago, the combined pressures spelled trouble. Cooling climate, shrinking habitats, a disappearing food supply, new competitors. It became too much for the giant shark to bear. The last of the megalodons likely died out in isolated pockets of warmer water, their numbers dwindling until the species was no more. After ruling the oceans for an astonishing 20 million years, the king was finally dethroned. The dynasty of the Big Tooth had ended. The oceans would never again see a predator of its scale. The extinction of the megalodon had a profound impact on the world's oceans. With the top predator gone, the marine ecosystem had to rebalance itself. Large whales, once prime prey, were suddenly freer from a super predator. This may have allowed them to evolve into even larger forms. Blue whale, fin whale. The removal of megalodon created a power vacuum, filled by smaller, adaptable predators. Great white shark, orca. It's important to remember that extinction is a natural part of life on Earth. The vast majority of species that have ever lived are now extinct. The megalodon's story is a powerful lesson in how even the most dominant species can be brought down by environmental change. Its extinction marks the end of an era, the closing of a chapter in the history of our planet's oceans. Even though the megalodon has been extinct for millions of years, its legacy is more powerful than ever. It continues to be one of the most fascinating and popular prehistoric animals, captivating the public's imagination alongside dinosaurs like the T-Rex. Why do we remain so enthralled by this giant shark? It's because the megalodon represents the ultimate unknown of the deep ocean. It taps into that primal fear and wonder we feel when we stare out at the vast, dark water and contemplate what might be lurking beneath the surface. It is the real-life sea monster, a creature that pushes the boundaries of what we thought was possible. In the world of science, the Megalodon remains a subject of intense study and importance. It serves as a crucial case study for understanding concepts like apex predators, marine food webs, effects of climate change on extinction. By studying why the Megalodon disappeared, we can gain valuable insights into the vulnerabilities of modern marine ecosystems. The Megalodon story is a cautionary tale written on a grand scale. The Megalodon's legacy is also huge in popular culture. While these portrayals are often sensationalized, they play a vital role in sparking curiosity and interest in the natural world, especially among young people. A movie about a giant shark might be what inspires a child to pick up a book about marine biology. The Megalodon acts as a gateway to science, a charismatic megastar from the past that makes learning about paleontology and oceanography exciting and accessible. Ultimately, the Megalodon is more than just a big, extinct shark. It is a symbol of the immense power and mystery of the natural world. The Megalodon may be gone, but it will forever swim in the oceans of our imagination, a timeless and awe-inspiring legend of the deep.